So I'm not alone as usual. Actually, my job here is really, I'm more like a conductor. Um, I'm inviting the drivers on stage very soon, and I'll be starting with the lady. Um, Kindly jam your hands together, give a hype welcome to Olamide as she joins me on stage. I mean, you can see poise. Are you smiling at Bonnie at me? Which one? All right. Olamide is closely followed by none other than my brother, Matthew Fields. Okay, and then closely followed because, they said that the latter will be greater than the former. So we're capping it up in style this morning as we welcome none other than Pastor Uche. All right, good morning. Good morning, guys. It's so as usual, none of them have an idea of what we're talking about this morning. The Pastor Uche tried his very best to get me to give him expo, but I told him that that's why he's the pastor. He can come and just wing it, so that we can get the reality of their perspective towards what we're about to talk about this morning. So our theme this morning is care and share, and I'll just lay a background for us young people. So there are stats that are what's it called? They are alarming in the sense that it seems like this generation seems to be the most that is plagued with having personal battles that they cannot talk to anybody about. We tend to easily feel like, we are in a shell and nobody else understands what we are going through. And we battle with depression, almost it's in like its worst, or should I say, maybe it has much media coverage this time around, and so you battle with depression and suicide and all these things. And we're talking about care and share this morning. So what do we want to talk about really? I'm going to be asking, should I start from the lady? I'll start from the lady. For you, how do you know someone cares about you? Now, so this is strictly platonic. So, for example, I'll start from here. How many of us know when someone asks you, how are you? Your normal answer is fine. Okay, I'm like that, yes. And then it takes someone to ask a follow-up to say, no, like Sheung always does. Sheung would say, how are you really? Are you fine, director fine, or you are really fine? And before you actually see that, okay, I think this person is interested in actually knowing how I really am. Because how are you just seems like greeting. So how do you know that when someone is asking about your well-being, how do you know the person really wants to know, or is just asking it to fulfill the normal, good morning, how are you, fine, have you eaten? No. Okay.
Okay, good morning everybody. Okay, one of the ways that I would know that someone actually cares about me when they ask about my well-being is that for you to want to know more about my well-being, that means you are trying to spend more time with me. So that means you are sharing of yourself with me, so I get to know that you actually care.
Okay, so how does someone share of themselves?
That's what I just said, that spending time with me and
spending time.
Yes. Okay. For someone to just say, how are you? You are saying it in person. If you really want to know how I am, you are going to have to share your time and ask me deeper questions to know how I really am.
Okay, so Olamide has said you have to share time. So you don't just do it in passing and you will get a fast food response if that's what you get. Matthew, same question for you.
Good morning, church. Well, like you said, how is has been like a norm for everybody. When you're chatting, say on a social media platform, somebody will just come and say, hey, how are you? Just go and say fine, But there are some people that when they talk to you, you just know that they are being real, yeah? Maybe those people that are quite close, to you. Say for example now, if I'm chatting with someone, like, okay, say for example, when Dio says, how are you? You know that it says, how are you? Because he meant it. It's not saying how are you just because he wants to fulfill that all righteousness. Or maybe, because some people, when they come to your DM or they want to talk to you, they are actually asking you, how are you? Because they need something from you. So they need something. So they'll just come, how are you? When you say fine, and you? Normal thing. And you? They'll say, mommy, I just talk say make I, just buzz you. So from there, I just talk to make I buzz you. How far now? You go get time, do shoot next week. All those kind of stuff. Those ones are they just want to get something from you. But there are some people, through the conversation, after how are you, there's some other driving force that comes with that. So then you know that, yes, this person is being real. This person really wants to know about me. Pastor Uche comes sometimes and say, how are you? He say, how are you really? Because the norm is how are you? And you too, because you don't know. Sometimes you don't know what this person is going through, so you don't want to burden that person with your own burden. So you now be like, oh, I'm fine. So I just feel that the conversation that comes after how are you will really determine how the person, what the person wants to say to you or how the person cares.
Okay, thank you. So I think that building from what you just said, what really matters or what you bring into play is your perception of that person that is asking how you are. So taking from Olamide that says that someone who already spends time with you on the norms. So when the person comes up to say, how are you? You know that this person is not just surface level, trying to find out. Pastor Uche, what are your thoughts about this?
So I think for me, it's a blend of what they have said. However, I have grown to realize and come to terms with the fact that everyone is dealing with something, and so it helps me not to take it to heart, when my expectation of them to, check up on me or something or be there for me is not met. So I am able to use that as like a shock absorber to be like, okay, something may be going on. Like, for example, for someone like Lamide, who, for you to connect with her and be defined as one who cares for her, you need to spend of yourself and spend time. On the flip of that will be someone who on a norm can do that for you and stops to do that. What does that spark in you? Do you go back? Do you get back to them, to be like, no, this is not this person? And also, the life we live presently now is extra fast-paced, and a lot of things are going on, and people are all together dealing with things, and so I am able to, help myself where that doesn't come through. But yes, the way one cares for you is that they spend time with you, they pay you attention, they just show genuine, sincere, and consistent care towards you. That's the only way you feel connected and feel that this person is real.
Okay, so building up from what you just said, so in a case where you had a relationship with the person and then the person seemed to change, what would you say is the right thing to do from that point? And you are dealing with stuff too.
Okay, so you have a relationship with someone and the person changes. I'm not sure there is anything wrong with reaching out back to that person to want to find out that, it used to be better than this. What is really wrong? Is there something wrong with the way we are communicating? Is there something wrong with the relationship? Or is there something wrong in your personal corner, in your personal space? So the first step will be to try to find out, and find out not being judgmental, because a lot of times you're coming from the standpoint of me, and so you're coming with a war already, towards the person, and that may meet a brick wall if at that material time the person is not in a stable or a controlled emotional state. They could hit back at you, and then the relationship, just caves in and goes off. So if you come from a win-win approach, okay, so I'm not feeling okay about the way this person is already reacting to me, but well, I need to find out because this isn't who they used to be to me prior. Then you reach out to want to understand, is there something wrong with the way we are relating? Is there something I have done wrong? Is there something wrong in your personal space? And, the way you present and approach the issue with the person will determine the kind of results that you get, and it can be resolved, or improperly handled, it can destabilize the relationship.
Amazing. So what I want to do, Matthew, I'm coming over to you, is we seem to have this, I don't know what to call it, a mindset where it's almost like a competition. So once, for example, maybe myself and Victor, we're having a chat, and then Victor goes like, I've seen it in some comedy skits, Victor goes like, if you know what's happening to me, I've not eaten since yesterday night too. There's this instinct. I just say, me self, I've not eaten the past 3 days. It's almost like we're now beginning to compete on who has it harder, really, and all that. I mean, how do you deal with such, Matthew?
Well, I feel that some people just bring up that barricade because so I feel that it's not about telling lies or anything. Some people just feel that if they don't create that wall, someone want to penetrate and like, maybe myself, I don't have money. You two, you've not eaten since yesterday. So how are we going to do it? Me too, I'll tell you that I've not eaten since yesterday now, because I know that if I tell you that I've eaten, you want to come and ask me that, guy, I beg, give me 200 and I each chop. And I don't have the money. So I'll cook and tell you that myself, I've not eaten since 3 days. You understand? So that is just the realistic way to put it, because we will not deceive ourselves. Because personally, when someone asks me for something and I'm not able to do it, I feel very guilty. So instead of just, I'll just tell you that, guy, as things be now, mommy self, now one square meal I don't chop today, so that you will not go further to ask me that, guy, give me, money. So I think that's just
amazing. I like the fact that it was being real. I want to do a reality check in the house this morning. If you know that you've never, somebody has not asked you, like, yeah, guy, have you seen, I see one H for you and the 1K. I was like, mommy self, I never see. It means I go come ask you. I mean, you've never done it. Please, I want to see your hands up. I need to know the people that are. There's no hand. And yet we see that everybody is complaining about the fact that people don't care, because it seems to be a very generic mindset. We tend to, as a matter of fact, most young people come to church and tend to feel like people in church don't care about them. But then we never actually stop to ask, who are you checking up on? Who are you trying to create a relationship with? Who are you out of? Because I think that the mistake we make is that we tend to want to be okay first before we can reach out to somebody else. We misapply, they remove the speck in your eye before you can see to. We actually misapply it in that. Is
it okay to add to what you have just said? I think it's a good conversation we're having, especially around us young people. Yes, us young people in church, and then how that we are quick to spotlight. How that we are quick to spotlight. People not caring for us and all, so love is not self-centered.
Yes, love is not self-centered.
So love is not wrapped all around you, because if you so feel, why not give what you want? Sometimes, it is in giving that you will get it back. And so some people come into this kind of a space, and then they just feel nobody is checking up on me. Whilst that may be true, there are uncountable reasons for that. The system itself is even fast-paced, and it's not that you are being neglected consciously or deliberately, and then you just sit back. And so my counsel will be that if you find yourself in such a space there, put in effort and also come out, reach out to someone, and that circle will be broken. That's why I'm saying that love isn't self-centered at all. You want all the attention to yourself. You're not giving off any at the same time. Thank Thank you.
So break the cycle, right?
Yes, please break the circle.
Yeah, so there's a scripture that says that he who must have friends must
Present himself friendly
present himself
also.
friendly. I mean, that's just perfect. Olamide, I have a question for you. I'll be building on from what Pastor Oche just said. How about people who naturally care for others? So you seem to give yourself out a lot, and then it seems like you're being taken for granted. People have seen it like, I don't need to mention names. There are some people like that in this setting that you are everybody's go-to person. They need something, is you. You expect you to check up on them, but everybody just assumes that somebody's checking up on you. And maybe for a while now, you are running on empty. There is nobody checking up on you. So how do you balance or manage such a situation where you're a giver, you're a caregiver, natural caregiver like Mentor Ruth is, but really there are times where you also need someone to, and then maybe you're a private person, you don't want to have to ask for the care. You want someone to just notice you and reach out to you. How do you balance such a situation?
Okay, first of all, when you share of yourself a lot, there is actually a limit to sharing of yourself. If you distribute yourself too much, you are going to, sharing is that you are distributing yourself.
Animal sound.
Okay, it will get to a point that, as you've said, that you will run on empty. So you have to caution yourself.
True.
You don't just go about it and just, okay, let me just give my care to this person, give to this person. Then you have to care for yourself.
True.
Because if you can't care for yourself properly, you won't be able to care for others.
True.
And I think that there are some times that you need to be able to ask others to care for you.
True.
Because if you don't,
Demand it, right?
yes,
Yes,
you have
please.
to demand it. Because you can't put yourself in a position to suffer. Because if you leave yourself, people will suck you like orange and throw the pulp away at the end of the day. You'll be left with nothing. And you just, when you are now in a deep situation, you will find that you don't have people really surrounding you. So you have to put yourself in a position that people will be able to reach out to you and care for you.
Wow, I mean, she's just spoken wisdom. I mean, she said scriptures in another light, and she said, what she was saying was love your neighbor as yourself. You really cannot learn to love people if you've not learned to love yourself. As a matter of fact, it's not self-love, it's low self-esteem for you not to be able to care for your own self, and yet you just give yourself to people. It shows that there is something wrong about the way you perceive your own self. And so you are just distracting yourself by caring for other people. All right?
But there can be a balance to it, because I think that sometimes some people need love and care more than others. So I also think that it requires a certain measure of emotional intelligence. Say, for instance, I'm trying to find a good example. So if the two of them platonically, or the three of them, I can give attention and care more per time to him, because I have evaluated and seen that he would be needing it more than himself. So I think it also comes with a level of rationality to, because you find us like in this kind of space too. Some people just feel this person is preferred to me, or this person is catered to more than myself. And then you never can tell if there is a rationale per time, because of what that person is dealing with. The person is getting more of the care and attention than you, because they need to be brought to stand on their feet.
Okay. I kind of have a follow-up question to what you just said, sir. So, you said that emotional intelligence comes into play. So you have to be the one evaluating. How about a scenario where, for example, I evaluate that Matthew is my guy. I still spoke to Matthew last week. I think he's okay. I watch his status. There's nothing alarming going on his status. But maybe John Tommy just goes on Twitter or WhatsApp and he goes on a rage. And I'm like, oh, I think this person needs more attention. However, it could be possible that Matthew that has been silent is dying in silence. Because I think that for those who are more vocal, they're actually in a more safe space. Because the moment they go vocal, people come in. Of course, some wrong advice will come in, but some right advice will come in too. But for those ones who are, for those of us who are very silent and coded, like Sheung. I think that those people can be in very dangerous spaces sometimes, and yet they appear like nothing is going on. They show up in church, everybody assumes that they are fine, they carry out their duties, they smile the normal smile they smiled to you last week, and we just think that they are fine. Where does emotional intelligence come into play in balancing and I don't think that emotional intelligence is not just enough. I think that we need the Holy Spirit sometimes to be able to sense that this person needs something or needs care or needs attention.
Okay, I think is that my question on Matthews? It's actually supposed to be Matthews.
Why? No, I just mentioned it.
Okay, I think that to love and to care, like Olamide has said, it's a give and take situation. She said something very good, that you need to place yourself, to even be cared for, you need to put yourself in a position where you can be reached. You know, some people are in that space where you cannot go through them. And at the end of the day, we are human, you know, of course, with the help of the Holy Spirit, that can happen. But we have human limitations, you know. Some people would want to care for you, but would want to respect your private space. You know, they so desire to be there for you, to assist you, to walk with you through whatever it is that you are going, that is going on in your space. But they will respect your views, they would respect your privacy, they would respect how you want that to be dealt with. So it's here and there at the same time. Do you want to feel loved and cared for? Scripture already says that if you want a friend, you make yourself friendly. Jump over, maybe because I have a lot already I'm dealing with, and then he jumps over. If she jumps over, then I am almost thinking that the problem now is not the system, you know, but maybe with you. So what I'm saying is the giver and the receiver both have something to give in to ensure that the care and the share thing can got to the point of suicide, you know. And then so I began to get scared. I began to wonder, you know, and I'm imagining that in this enclosed space, I am unsure that we have walls in this space, honestly. That's why I'm saying that if you belong here and you can't find one person to connect to, there are chances that the issue, because here is this is a house where we almost don't judge ourselves. I don't know. I don't want to say that we are perfect people, but there is no judgment. You just come as you are, and you hear what you need to hear, and it is left for you to take it, you know, apply and deal with whatever is going with you. So if you are in this space and you are bottled up with your issues, there is no how that we can come through to you, honestly, because we are many enough for there to be one person that you can connect to. And trust me, once you connect with that right person, if they don't have the answers or remedies for whatever it is that you're going through, they point you in the direction where you'll get it. We live in a society now where I think that with the Western influence and social media, a lot of us have become very, I don't want to use the word hard, but harder on ourselves, you know, because we are judging and assessing ourselves based on other people, you know, other people's achievement, other people's whatever it is, and then you use that to judge yourself, you know, for your own unmet expectations, and then they become very toxic inside you. And then the next thing we read and hear is, you know, XYZ has happened to this person. What I'm saying here is you belong in a system where indeed we care about you, and you know it will take you to open up to at least one of us for us to be able to access you and met out to you what is right. Thank you.
Amazing. Do we have questions? I think I have time to take about, okay, Victor has one. Anybody else? Let me just note them now. Victor has one question. No other question. From this side, okay, one question here. Okay, love also. So those are 3 questions. Who's going to help with the microphones? Who's going to help with the microphones? Real fast. Just that way, Victor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. So my question is, sometimes people that are very silent and quiet, like you said, if you take a survey, or 70% of them want to break free from that state, um, because people like us, somehow quiet too. Yes. So sometimes I want to behave like a John, but something will just drag me back. Say, no, don't do that. Here you get. So so my question is, number one, how do you come out of that way? Thank God for our other service, the networking service, opened me up to a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you still need to work harder than that. So how do you break free from that? That is one. And the second one is, well, this is not a relationship counseling and stuff like that. So most times, people that are very silent, if you find out, it's either because of their background or because of what they've experienced in the past and everything. So what would be your advice to people that are just starting their families, and people that are probably, they have people that look up to them, like your guidance and others? How do you bring up a child or somebody that looks up to you, so that that person will not suffer from loneliness syndrome, like being alone syndrome? I don't know how to put it. So that's my question.
Okay, Olamide, you want to tackle the first part of this question?
Okay. First of all, wanting to be like John is not even the right thing to want to do, because you are different people with different temperaments. Just be yourself. You are you. John is himself. So for the fact that you are quiet doesn't mean that you are silent. So as you have said, there is a vast difference between the two. So just continue to be yourself, and when you need to speak up, please do speak up. You have to, for it not to be silent, you have to, it's not just about wanting not to be silent. You have to make an effort not to be silent. Look for someone that you know that this person matches my personality. This person is the kind of person I can talk to. So when you make an effort, even if it's just that now wow, you don't even ask me and say how was my week. It did for your body, that kind of thing, just to start a conversation, just not to be in your space alone. So you have to make an effort. It comes from making an effort. You can't just want to not be silent. It doesn't work that way. So I think that you should just be yourself and try not to be silent. Amazing. Because a closed mouth is a closed destiny.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Anybody wants to tackle the second part of this question?
Okay, and additional to what you said to this question, I really do not think that there is anyone who is extremely quiet. What perhaps happens is people tend to wait to find the persons they can trust. Let me cite an instance. The same Sheung we are using as reference right now. I have slid into his private space a couple of times, and we have had, I couldn't have referred to the interactions as being with someone who is very quiet. So people tend to blossom and naturally just explode before the persons that they trust. So create atmospheres, create a rapport. When you create a rapport with that person, I don't consider Victor quiet. I don't know how I can consider Victor quiet, and all of that. So people tend to just open up to the persons that they can connect with. Then the next question would be what? Relationship, how you can. Okay, so maybe I should share a personal experience. I think my son is a very quiet person, and sometimes I get worried. And sometimes I get worried, I check up at home, I check up on him more than I will check up on my daughter. Because if my daughter has an issue, then the whole house has an issue, so she will bring that space down. But if my son has an issue, he'll recoil into his space, I'll seize all his gadgets because follow me and talk and all of those kind of things. So, but people are who they are. We all have different wirings and all. So you can still be introverted and quiet natured, and it is very healthy. It is left for you to just be a bit sensitive. You already know he's quiet natured, and this is who he is. These are the things that when he's doing this kind of thing, that you know that there is problem. So you know you're just sensitive towards that person to know when you will work into their space to give a helping hand. But you can't denature anyone. We all can't be loud and we all can't be quiet. It's a blend that makes the world go round.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We've run out of time, but I'll take the last two questions. John, give my brother over there. Okay. And then Love would also ask a question, so they would answer all at once.
Amen. It's really not a question, probably just to add to what has been said. I think one thing about we young people is that we tend to, probably based on the things we see on social media, we tend to see silence as strength. So we tend to see silence as maturity. We tend to see that if I don't share my things, it means I'm strong. It means I'm a man, you understand? And also one of the things that we would always see is that a problem shared is a problem solved, but now a problem shared is everywhere. So that was one of the things that's making us scared to share things with people. Amen.
Thank you very much. Amazing contribution.
Okay, praise the Lord. Okay, so one is a contribution, another is a question. So the first one is talking about where you said somebody who comes and tells you, guy, are they hungry? I never chop for 2 days. And you too, you give them back. I never chop for 2 days too. But how is it's so silly for you to, okay, so if we are just friends on like high level, and I mean, you just slide into my DM and you're asking me, like, it's so silly for you to do that. You don't blackmail people emotionally. Like, it's very bad. Like, people do that to me a lot. And funny enough, sometimes I don't know how to handle it. Because if I have it, even as low as 2,000, 1K, I'll say, okay, take this. And funny enough, I might have not eaten. Or that might be the last cash I have or I'm having on me. But you don't do that. Like, try and respect. Forget that thing, please. Somebody should love me too. So try and respect people. If it's Mary, are you okay? Mama, send me money, I'm hungry. There are some people that we are on that level anytime, but there are some people that you are not. Just try and respect them. So I'm coming. Okay, so my question is, people assume a lot. So yes, okay, let me say for me, there were sometimes when I newly joined the church, people tell me my face is usually very strong, like I'm not approachable, I'm not this, I'm not that. But funny enough, when you get to know me, you know that, come on, I'm calm, loving. By the way, so how do you approach people who you think from afar, they are so strong and you don't know how to, like Mama Rita, when I knew her earlier, I thought that she's very uptight. But getting to know her, I'm like, she's so sweet. So, like, how do you deal with those people? How do you come to them? How do you enter their shell? How do you deal with them? I don't know. Thank you.
Let me kind of attempt to lay a background to that, or should I say start it off. I think how to deal with those kind of people. Number one thing, just not anybody that is hard on the surface is very soft on the inside. It's a facade. That's the truth. It's trips. Everything is we're just trying to guide. That's the honest truth. Anybody that is hard on the surface is very, very soft on the inside. What you just need to do is to be bold enough to enter their space. That's the thing. That's what they respond to. Enter their space. They'll be like, this person, you have confidence. So. And then they just naturally begin to open up. That's my experience anyways. Because you mentioned someone like Mama Rita. You mentioned yourself. I don't see only one of the both of you as hard. You people are very soft actually. You're easy to manipulate if does anybody want to add to that?
Can I add to that? The truth is that assumption kills.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you, because you're assuming something about someone you don't even know. So that you already create a perception of that person in your own mind. So you're like, almost see as this person face strong like this, how I go meet this person. So I mean, I've heard some stuffs, like, even despite the way that I'm outspoken, and some people still say that I'm this guy, because I don't know, maybe because of the way I dress or because of the way I behave. Some people even say this guy in a playboy, or this guy, because how you take no say I be playboy? I don't carry your sister before. You understand? you can't just assume that kind of thing about me because of the way I dress or because of the way I play with people. You understand? So you need to get into that person's space to really know how how the person is. So for example, now look at Dio. Now sometimes see Dio is very playful, but when he sits and you just be like, oh my, this guy, see his face, sounds is strong. But when you get to know the person, it's just like Sheon too. When you see Sheon, you be like, you not go fit talk to this person. But when you get to know Sheon, when you guys talk, Sheon can drive conversation. In fact, you will not even want to like leave that because now go to talk, now go to enjoy yourself. So you can't assume things about people. Don't assume things about. Get into their space, get to know them, and as a result of that, you know the kind of person they truly are.
All right, assumption kills, guys. Can you give my amazing panelists a round of applause this morning? Today's session has been amazing. Real quick, we're gonna go into something else closely related to this. So we're having an open mic session for the next 10 minutes. What do we want to do? It's a hear and share session. All right. So what you do is you just walk up to the mic, and for 30 seconds, appreciate something about somebody. It doesn't have to be someone you've spoken to. So this could be, so this is kind of like a free zone, okay? So you come up and you just say something nice, something that would, because, say, words are powerful, and sometimes you don't know what you just said in passing, what is going to mean to somebody else. So I think I'm going to start this off. And I don't want to pick a name that I'm maybe used to. Okay, I'm going to say something about Prince. Prince Prince's heart. It has a gentleman's heart. And I think that's one amazing quality that most young men in this church should take after. Who's next?
I actually want to appreciate Elizabeth. Elizabeth, where are you? Okay, thank you for always smiling, actually. Your smile is so rich.
I want to appreciate Elizabeth also. That's Elizabeth. So, Elizabeth is someone that does not really allow people in. She does not really have friends. So, I just want to appreciate you for allowing me to be your friend. Okay? So, thank you for being awesome.
Sincerely, I'm here to appreciate Elizabeth. And this will be my reason. I spotted her the first day she came to church, and she's been super consistent. Usually one of the first to come. And today I see that she came with someone. So the impression we have made has pushed her, and she's brought someone to church. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
All right, good morning, everybody. I also want to appreciate Elizabeth. You know, when I saw her initially, she was like, I can't really get into her space, but Mommy Ruth introduced me to her. And trust me, she's a darling. She has a large heart for service. Oh, she's readily available whenever you call on her. I sincerely appreciate it. And I also want to appreciate Margaret. Margaret has been a sweetheart, really. She's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Praise the Lord. Okay, I want to appreciate Emmanuel. I really want to say thank you to him. So like he came and he blended in so well. And the instrumentalists, they've supported me a lot. I want to thank them. And I want to thank Kofo. I've noticed her for a while. She's been here and there, like doing the things for us. Thank you so much. God bless.
Yeah, good morning. I want to appreciate Daniel. You know, it's just I need you to Daniel.
I want to appreciate Samuel and Emmanuel for giving us good music. Since they came, our music has really changed. I also want to appreciate Damini. She's so nice and very calm. And also Margaret, please. Margaret too, really awesome, amazing. Thanks for joining us. And Kofo too, you look beautiful. I also want to appreciate Ejiro for being amazing since she came into our lives. I mean, she's been doing amazing things.
Okay, so I want to appreciate, first of all, I would like to say something. Okay, so I'm not a poet. I'm not a. So you came into my life and it's all sparkled and you brought me out of my shell and so you little by little you I'm slipping away. I know I'm slipping away. So I just want to. It's not God. So I just want to appreciate Mary first. So and also.
This is the person I forgot to call. I want to appreciate Victor.
So I also want to appreciate, although she's here now, I want to appreciate Dami. Dami Lola Rose. Okay, you all know her as Rose. Rosemary Oluchi here. So she's been a darling, a sweet darling. And I want to appreciate Mama Ruth. Yeah, she knows how to get to you when you are there. And I also want to appreciate someone that I always dump all my everything on, everything, my fears, my cares, my worries, my everything. At any time. That's Pastor Uche. Thank you.
Before you guys go, I want to appreciate Victor for letting me and some of my friends into his space, because the truth is that it's not everybody that can allow it. Sometimes when we need a place to go, we just go hang out there and stuff. So I want to appreciate him for that. And I want to appreciate the entire Hypp Church, because I did not just gain, church members. I gained a family. I gained friends. And I want to appreciate Dio for being an amazing brother. Always reaching out, and always caring. So I appreciate you guys.
So quick one. Olamilekon, thank you very much. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for coming to Hypp. Bless you. Mentor Solomon. I don't know what to say. This man has been amazing, him and his wife. I'm actually where I am today because of both of them. And say thank you. Ejiro, thank you very much for loving me. I just want to say thank you. Faith, you are a darling. Gloria, thank you for always smiling.
Okay, couple of people. First, I want to appreciate Kemi. If there's somebody that's showing me how that where you come from shouldn't define you, that's the one person. I want to appreciate Ejiro. You know how somebody just comes and bamboozles this place and did not want to do it in the first place, so and then she has come now and then she's owning the whole place, so that's her. I want to thank Kofo. Plenty reasons, Sha. I want to thank Dio. Dio is my guy. One of the first people who actually let me know that being mentor means reading the Bible and answering some kind of difficult questions. Him and Larry, they did that a lot. I want to appreciate Abigail. She's a sweet soul. Mentor Ruth. If there's anything about Mentor Ruth that you should know is that she's a teacher who doesn't stop learning. Sometimes in the service she will tap me and say, hey, this part, he's saying this and this and this and this. And I say, oh yeah, that's true. I've not seen it before. And it's not just to me. She would ask anybody. I also want to thank these guys behind us. They are amazing. I remember one time Pastor came and said that he should play a song that the way he played it during. So when he said he should play the way he played it during that service, I knew, because during that service I was here but I was not here. So I want to thank the leadership of the Hypp. These guys, especially my director, Mary.
Okay, I can't be ready like this. Okay, good morning, church. Permit me, sorry. Yes, so I want to first of all appreciate every member of the Hypp Church. Excuse me, Diola, please. Right, Dio, sorry. So yes, it's just going down. First of all, I want to appreciate Monisola for all the energy she brings to my space. I want to appreciate Martins. So I just come up to him and say, I have a lot of things I need to do. and it's like, Ejiro, na you. For others, na you. Thank you. I want to appreciate Shayo, yes, for the little banters we have together. I'll just come, gist, and go. I want to appreciate John for being amazing. Mentor Ruth for always reminding me that I have a mom that is very close to me because she just behaves like my mom all the time. Then I want to appreciate every member of the Hypp executive. Thank you guys for being amazing. Thank you for our gist, our plays, and for everything. And for every member of the Hypp Church, thank you for being here because you are always worth the hype.